Welcome to episode 11 of the Payday Crimecast, a podcast in which we analyze, speculate on, and simply just ramble about every aspect of the Payday game series. On today's Crimecast, we'll be covering the latest DLC for Payday 2, the BBQ Pack, the upcoming Alesso Heist, the new kid on the block in terms of Lua mods, the BLT hook, and some other events that have occurred over the past 2 weeks in regards to Payday 2. I'm Edward, also known as Edislito, and I'm also here with Remi, also known as Morgrim. Say hello.
Oh, hi there.
And of course, we have Lewis, also known as Make Me Smash.
Yo.
Well, with the introductions out of the way, let's get to work. So, our first topic is the BBQ Pack DLC. Now, personally, I've tried the weapons. I don't have much to say about them. What about you guys?
They're so satisfying to use.
Yeah,
is it the screams
biggest
that
thing.
satisfy you?
That's the selling
Yep.
point. It's that. Honestly.
Yeah, and none of them are particularly good in gameplay, but like they're really, really fun to use. Except Molotovs. I will say Molotovs are good for area denial,
Yeah.
but they're very fun to use.
Also, we should bring up that Overkill has not fixed Dragon's Breath ammo. So I mean,
Yeah,
they didn't fix the spelling of it. First of all, they didn't rename it to Dragon's Breath. That was their first mistake. Their second mistake is, for those not in the know, that Dragon's Breath ammo does not pierce shields as it should. So there's that.
Well, have you guys seen real footage of Dragon's Breath being shot? It's just like,
Yeah.
It's kind of like shooting a flamethrower, I guess.
Well, it's not as noticeable as
Yeah.
a flamethrower. It's a very short burst.
Yeah, like what is the point of having those anyways? I've never really understood the
Lulls?
Oh, okay.
Novelty?
Yes.
Well, it seems like that should be one of the tags for the this pack, just novelty.
Exactly. And I mean, that's really one of the big selling points of this pack, is it's just the ridiculousness of it. It's like, hey, if I want to go into, the Hendrickson Museum and let loose with my flamethrower, I mean, now I can. Here's the thing.
Exactly.
If I want to go around forking people like they're my April afternoon shish kebabs, then now I can. See?
Oh, actually, that is a selling point. The Mother Forker is actually the highest DPS weapon currently. It's overtaken the trench knife,
Oh, really?
And
which
that
is
one's like
good.
the
That's if you
spatula,
don't
right?
care about concealment. However, trench knife is still the king in terms of trying to get below the sneaky bastard and low blow threshold.
Yeah.
So if you don't care about concealment, the Mother Forker is the way to go.
Okay.
I made a post on the subreddit, the Payday the Heist subreddit a while back. Okay, it wasn't really a while back. It was just a couple of days ago, to be honest.
Okay.
And I was kind of lamenting on the introduction of all the crazy melee weapons that we've been having. But it really just started from the very beginning. I wasn't really happy about
Yeah,
the
a little bit.
knives. And I don't know if you guys read it, but I was really sad about them introducing the knives in the first place, because I'm pretty much going to quote what I said verbatim, because I feel like I can't really explain it in more clarity, but I was saying that it feels really psychotic to, go around stabbing people. It feels more psychotic than just shooting them in the face, just because there's that intimacy to getting up close to someone and jabbing a jagged piece of metal into their stomachs or something, right? Do you see how I'm describing it? Doesn't it sound gruesome? But
Yeah.
but with the flamethrowers and the Molotovs and the piercing screams in your ears,
And
as
the
you burn
fact that we
people.
now have an RPG and a minigun that we use to
Yeah.
decimate cops by the thousands, I really don't think gruesomeness or psychotic, endless
well-
killing behavior really has a
I almost feel like
criticizable point in Payday at
I
this
almost
point.
feel like the
You-
minigun and the RPG, in comparison to the flamethrower, like one is a quick and a quick release from the pain that is life, and the
Well,
other
one
one is is a very
A quick
prolonged one.
release.
Yeah,
from the
if you're
brain
close enough
that
to the
is
explosion.
Hold on a second.
If you're close enough to the explosion. Otherwise,
Very
you may
jaded.
just lose a couple limbs.
Very
You also-
jaded, this podcast.
Yeah, you also have to realize that this amount of being dark is not above overkill. Remember, we've had just spare thumbs just lying around that we put in
Come on, that guy could
scanners on
still
the
be
big
living.
thing. We also the original animation for Joker was strapping a bomb to the guy's chest. and
Well,
just
that's still a
dead.
rumor. I still would have preferred it if they
No,
had
it was
added that
it
in.
was confirmed. That
Wow.
was the original. They found it in the game files.
Yep.
Can we add this
It's,
back in? Because I love the idea.
There's probably a
Because it
mod.
makes more sense than just saying, "Hey, would you like to fight with us?"
Well, no, because technically all of the voice lines in game and all the animations and all that
Yeah, it
still are
matches
still
up.
putting the vest on, but
Exactly.
they just took out the vest art because otherwise Australia probably would have banned it.
Even more so. Well,
Killing people and killing civilians and stealing things, that's okay, but strapping a bomb to someone,
Yeah,
Well,
okay, I guess
now
that
we
is
got
a
a
step too
problem.
far. Come on.
yeah, forcing someone to fight for you with a threat. Nah, that's not fair. But blowing
if-
someone to pieces with those same bombs without a threat, just straight up, nah, that's
That's
fine.
true. As long as it's direct and out of the barrel of an RPG, it's okay.
excuse me
Or
while I
no,
just
because trip mines. So
Hey.
like,
And the trip mines, at least you had to go through a lot of trouble to get them working and looking so good.
as long as you're not threatening someone with a weapon, you can
Yeah.
like.
Can
Well,
I
I mean,
just let me pardon me as I just walk up to the local SWAT force and say, "Hello, sir. Do you have a minute to talk about our Lord and Savior Dallas?" Oh,
Oh well, actually, if you put it that nicely,
Well, I
great. Then
think
come fight on our side.
puts down
Thank
their
you for
weapon,
doing
takes a
this.
seat on the bench.
that post, that comic that was posted actually, that I posted that comment on, I really think nailed down the cruelty that we've come down to. Did you guys see that?
Which comic is this?
It was basically like Chains confessing to Dallas, like wondering how we got to this point. Like we were initially doing this thing, and now we're like burning people, and then Dallas like fires the flamethrower into like these two kids, and then he says, I wonder if human beings taste good."
Yeah, I
Oh
saw
yeah,
that.
that one. Yeah.
This community, I love it. Still,
Yeah, well, I mean, it's come a long way from the web series, which is we are stealing back money that was stolen from the American people. Now it's just like,
Yeah,
lol,
that's the
flame.
exact post that I was replying to, because this guy
Now
was
it's-
kind of pissed off that they tried to make the Payday crew seem like some noble Robin Hood character, but that really wasn't who they were portrayed as in
now
the
we're all
first games.
jacket.
exactly.
Essentially, we're just sociopaths / psychopaths / just nonsensical killers. I'm the only one who cares about lore, apparently. Okay, well, there's a couple of other people, but I'd say
Implying
we're
there is
in the
lore in
minority.
Payday.
Well, it seems like they're trying to go for something. I mean, I don't see the guys in the live action videos with flamethrowers, unless it's for the promotional
Yet.
video.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Speaking of, let me add my own little comment here about those little
yeah.
videos, the behind the scenes videos. So Overkill's been doing those a lot more. I love those so much. I love seeing everything that goes into like making all this. I think it's a very nice touch. Kind of brings up.
I like seeing Simon speak, especially in that interview, because one YouTube comment pointed out, like Simon forgot what his role in the game was for like a good 5 seconds. Like,
Yeah.
I'm Simon Vickland. I'm the music composer for Payday 2.
am I? Was that right? Line, please.
Do you want to re-record that, Simon? No, I think it's good.
Keep it.
Now it works. We'll fix it in post.
But yeah, I'm in total agreement. I really like the behind-the-scenes videos. It kind of takes us back to the time before the game came out, because David Goldfarb, sorry for saying his name, they used to make a lot of videos with his face plastered right on the front, telling us about how the game would be.
David Goldfarb.
Goldfarb?
Payday 2 with David Goldfarb.
Yeah.
Yeah, he certainly
Yeah.
had an interesting...
Hey guys, did I mention that we have David Goldfarb on our staff?
He had an interesting outlook on the game. But yeah, we were talking about the BBQ Pack.
We
Well,
were. And
I
now
guess the
we
video
just
is sort of
evolved.
related anyways, but
Yeah.
It is.
We said the weapons are crazy, and
Yeah. Do we have any other thoughts on
Well,
it?
to be
other than
fair,
that?
if we're getting back to that whole, this is making us very dark. The trailer Like, holy shit.
Yeah, I know.
The first trailer with all the bits of meat and then the burning cops and then just
It,
who were they? Was it Hoxton
it was
and
Hoxton and
Wolf?
Wolf, yeah.
We're just sitting there with the flamethrower, like looking real pleased with themselves.
You know, the
With that doo-wop,
juxtaposition.
yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
juxtaposition between the doo-wop tune as well as, the gruesome visuals kind of reminded me, like, as silly as it sounds, it reminded me of the Pyro, Meet
From
the Team video from Team
TF2.
Fortress 2. Like,
It does, yeah.
we're all happy to be burning human beings into a fine
You
crisp.
believe
Just-
in magic.
You just let the passion warm you up inside. It's the flames of love.
Actually, that song,
throw
I
another
will
piece of coal.
huge props to Simon Viklund. That is a glorious song.
Yeah, I know. And it's coming as a menu track soon, too, so it's
Oh man, my body's ready.
Yeah, I do have it on my MP3 player, and I like that song a lot. It's very authentic to, well, not to say that I'm a music connoisseur, but I feel like it's very authentic to that classic type of music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think in the behind-the-scenes footage, or at least on his blog or something, he said he actually recorded it on, like, a mono recording system, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they even showed that briefly in the behind-the-scenes video for that. And also, what I really appreciated there was seeing, for a split second, you can see Simon in front of the two singers for the song, just kind of like acting like he's spraying an air flamethrower, like, this is what's happening, people are burning, well, we've got this cheery little doo-wop going on.
Yeah, I wonder
It's very nice.
I wonder if he like directs the singers. He's like, yes, the feeling that I'm going for with this scene is, yeah, like I'm just firing a flamethrower, and just when you're singing, think of a flamethrower.
Well, if we're talking about music, because I think we've said everything we can about the barbecue pack, have we?
Have we? Well,
Yeah, I'm pretty
I
sure,
did,
yeah.
Before
Alright.
we leave that topic, I did want to squeeze in a little story that occurred when I was playing Hoxton Breakout. What other level is there in Payday 2? But I was playing
Obviously.
Hoxton Breakout, and there
Shadow
were just
Raid?
explosions like every 2 seconds, and I'm like, this guy's got to be like hacking. I mean, come on. But I had completely forgotten that the barbecue pack had come out, and it had the like 6-chambered grenade launcher in there, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
at the very end of the heist.
Piglet.
But it felt like really unfair, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
But then
it
again,
feels
I guess
unfair until you try and reload it.
Yeah.
that's true. The reload animations are really cool, but I guess the trade-off is that I got friendly fire downed like 5 times in that heist, so maybe it isn't so overpowered.
Come on, if you don't want to get blamed for running into their grenades, don't play dodge, because apparently it's bad, and it's your fault.
I can't dodge every speckle of the explosion, I guess.
But if we
Or not that
could!
I like how, regardless, whenever you get someone is bringing an explosive weapon and they grenade you or they RPG you, it's your fault.
Yeah.
So, I'm
Yeah, and
sorry,
they call
did you not see
I'm pretty
me?
sure I did get insulted in that game as well. Somebody called
Yeah.
me a name that you call people when you don't have much skill, I guess.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
But why did you get
okay.
down so much, Ed? Huh?
Alright, so I think that's Ed's story aside. I think that's
Yeah.
everything on the barbecue pack. I liked it. It was a nice story. It was nice. We're moving on.
Yeah, I understand fun. Just to end this, I understand fun, but I weep for the lore. I don't care what you guys say. It exists. It exists in some
What if the
reality.
lore was not killed?
There's like genuine sorrow in Ed's voice right now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I should be laughing.
But who
Um,
is
Rest
lore?
in peace, Payday lore.
Me. Okay. Lore morning aside, we're on to the Alesso Heist. What is this? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't know. Like, we,
gotta
are 12. What is this?
Have you guys even heard of Alesso? Prior to this.
I
event?
have.
No.
I have from my friend who knows
Whoa.
about like EDM music and all this stuff like that. He says he hates Alesso's music. He says like
Oh.
everyone hates Alesso's music.
Damn.
So
Well, he's Swedish, so that's pretty
Shots-
much the only justification that
Shots
Overkill
fired.
has for
Yeah.
having a collaboration with him.
So to break this down for everyone who hasn't heard about it or perhaps doesn't have a clear understanding about this, a trailer was released, 15-second
No.
trailer. If I'll do the benefit of the doubt thing.
Yes, describe
that,
the trailer to us, Lewis.
So it had the build-up, quote-unquote, of the song, and then the what Alesso will attempt to justify as the drop, quote-unquote. And then it zoomed out on the Payday gang, and as the drop hit, I believe it was, we got a video of the concert. I don't know what you call that effect. It's not rotoscoping. It's not it's not superimposing, but whatever. A video of an Alesso concert, just everyone breaking down, and then like Alesso Heist, May 2015. Not even that actually. Just then it ended, like the Alesso Heist coming soon. So that's what it was.
Well, you know, at least they're keeping that subtle. They weren't saying like, "Hey, this is going to be the best heist since, you know, insert best heist here."
Yeah. And also, also they have the website set up for it and everything. Yet we don't get any more information about this until May, because we've got to get the pre-hype for the pre-hype to the hype. Of course.
Yeah.
Are they ever going to stop this? Because I mean, I don't know if this was a sort of damage control from Overkill, because we did kind of find the files before they were meant to be found. So it was just their way of trying to get us to not speculate on it. I mean, we're going to do that, listeners. We're going to totally speculate on this.
Oh, yeah. No, it's happening.
We did what now? We found the files for the Alesso heist?
Yeah, I mean, on the subreddit, people said, like, hey, there's going to be a new heist with, I think they said, like, some kind of nightclub or something like that.
Okay,
Bigger nightclub.
And just very shortly after, Overkill came out and said, hey, we're going to have a collaboration with Alesso, and it's going to be a heist at one of his concerts. So was it their way of kind of assuaging our hype, I guess? Like, by just telling us at a time, because we were going to speculate and then obviously overhype it?
It's a known fact that Overkill browses the subreddit, so I
could say it's partially that, but I also would say it's partially like, don't worry guys, it's okay. We're not just like, the DLC is not just stagnating. We're actually doing shit.
Maybe.
It's been a few weeks.
So, apparently it takes place at an Alesso concert, and Alesso actually made a track called Payday that we'll talk about later. But does anyone have any idea what we're going to do at a concert? I mean, like, I'm halfway drooling at the amount of civilians we're going to have.
Well, bear with me here, but maybe it's going to be a 2-day heist, and on day 1 we're going to steal the tickets from like a fan that pre-ordered them months ago.
And on day 2 we steal all the overpriced band merch.
Or we're just going to buy tickets from a scalper.
We're just going to hold E on a scalper, and we're just going to listen to the concert.
Or we're going to like tie him down and take his tickets. We're gonna mug him for his tickets.
We're just going to torrent Alesso's discography.
Oh, you know what'd be really good, actually? If the Alesso heist was just like a tweaked version of the nightclub heist, and instead the DJs just swapped for Alesso.
Ideas.
Shit. I knew they hadn't started work on it.
There it goes.
Nightclub 2.0. The FBI have taken over the nightclub.
We've introduced the original version of the nightclub heist and put it back in for the Alesso heist.
See, here's the problem: is you mentioned earlier, Ed, that the only reason for them doing a collaboration with Alesso was that he's Swedish. No, the only reason was that he made a track called Payday. The fact that he's Swedish doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
But did he make the Payday track because they're gonna have a heist with him, or the other way around?
I'm fairly certain that he did make the track. I don't know. Maybe he made the track for Payday. I don't know.
I'm sure he made it because they asked him to.
How many of you have heard the track itself?
Yeah, well, I heard it in the teaser trailer.
I actually listened to the full track.
Yeah.
And
I don't think it's okay. As EDM music goes, it's okay. It's not like super good. But I found this particular track, I didn't listen to any more of his music, but this particular track was okay. Didn't have a huge drop, but it was fairly Payday-esque. The fairly consistent bass kind of, or snare or whatever the hell is in the background, fairly consistent beat, kind of as building up to the assault wave. So I mean, it was okay.
Well, I mean, for Payday, I mean, there's a lot of music that would fit that sort of thing, which is why we have so many music mods that just add music from other sources like Hotline Miami, because it all fits. I mean, you just have to have a a decent drop and some hardcore head pumping music, and that's pretty much fitting with Payday.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Head pumping.
Here's the thing. Yeah, it's got the style down. It's got the framework of like the style down. But here's the thing. I just didn't feel any emotion from it, because if you look at the behind the scenes for the BBQ and Overkill pack, Simon goes so far as to say, so what I wanted to do in this is I wanted to convey a lot of emotion, a lot of attitude.
Mm-hmm.
So you can tell Simon, puts time into like trying to convey something specific to the heist, trying to convey, a lot of just big banging attitude, or just a lot of, silent, smooth, movement, or a lot of fast-paced action. Gotta keep it moving, go, 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 kind of stuff. Whereas this just seems
generic.
like very generic. Yeah, exactly, generic house music. So
yeah, but
it's something we discussed like outside the podcast. Just we asked each other like, what do you think of the Alesso collaboration, and we all discussed the track almost immediately, and we're all like, this is kind of generic in comparison to Simon's stuff. And it basically comes down to exactly what you just explained, is that when Simon creates a track, I'm going to take a wild guess here, but I'm assuming the level designers are like, hey, this map is like, the biggest bank in Washington, and it's a very old bank, so Simon's already kind of churning out ideas like, hey, if it's an old bank, it'll probably have like some, like I can hear the some opera music playing in my head, so that's what I'm going to put in the song. But this one, like, I don't know if he really has any context, and to be fair, I mean, even the heist itself, well, it's at one of his concerts. What's going to be playing? Well, I'm assuming it's going to be playing
his
Alesso
music.
But that's it's very disappointing in one sense, but I guess it's fitting. I know, like, I just said nothing with all those words.
Well, yes, but to be fair, you also have to think of it as Simon works for Overkill. Like, this is his job. This is his living. He's passionate about what he does. Alesso, this is a collaboration for him. This is a side thing. He's like, okay, they want me to make, or we don't know how it works. He's like, all right, well, I'll just make a track, or all right, Overkill asked me to make a track. Cool, here's a cool track.
You know what?
He doesn't want to convey any emotion. He doesn't know what they're gonna do with it. He just made the track for them.
Yeah, I would have appreciated it if he was like, oh, Payday, what's that game about? And then they describe it to him, and he's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna make it sound like circus music because there's clowns.
I kind of feel that's what he may have done.
Yeah.
Like, I feel someone tweeted Alesso like, hey, have you ever played Payday? Nah, not really. Sounds cool, though.
What does it look like? Oh, well, these guys dressed up as clowns. Oh, okay. Well, that's enough. You had me at clowns.
My friend had a similar comment when my EDM friend, because he plays Payday too, I told him about this. I let him listen to the track. He had basically the same things to say as we did. He also said, yeah, no, I expected, I didn't even expect anything better than this from Alesso, so I mean, I don't know. I guess that's the
yeah, he's living up to his own standards. Ooh.
Oh!
Got him.
What was that? That's a bullseye. Got him. Okay. All right.
Well, I know we joked a lot about what the gameplay was going to be like, but honestly, what do you guys think could even happen in a concert like this?
I don't know what we can steal.
What is there? Let's think about it. It's a big let's think, big concert hall, a lot of people. What is there to steal at a big concert hall? The safe. Maybe the safe and like because you know how those big like halls always have like one big safe where they keep all their stuff. Maybe that. I don't know.
Do you think this will be like a kidnapping heist? Because that would be pretty interesting.
Kidnap Alesso and kill him for making his music.
Simon Viklund has been kidnapped, and we need to kidnap Alesso to trade with him.
Barter.
Why would they want Alesso?
That is.
I can imagine. I can imagine Bane having a line there. Okay, we're after Alesso to get back Simon Viklund. Hey, this Simon guy's not a half bad looking guy.
It's like, for some reason they want this guy for Simon, but I don't know.
It's not
That's
an even trade,
choice.
but they proposed it, so let's go. Alesso, go get him.
The guys, the bad electronic music creator, the bad DJ, go get him.
The guy who has no variety in comparison.
Oh god.
I don't know, like, what could we do? Like, I mean, we could steal from all the civilians. We could have something to do with kidnapping or robbing Alesso.
I already said, just get all that overpriced band merch that they sell at all of those concerts. That stuff is inflated through the roof.
Or we just like steal a generic safe that has no explanation for being there, but apparently every major institution has a massive security like ridden safe.
There's gonna be a time lock on his record player.
Yeah, can't ECM rush that.
Look at that T-shirt.
Well, I mean, like, if we're thinking of it from that perspective, then I can see how there would be a lot of money in that vault because, like I said, that stuff is inflated in price through the skyline. So, I mean, like, who knows? There could be a lot of money in that safe, so that could be what Overkill uses to justify robbing a concert hall. Either that or I just gave them an idea.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, like, exactly, like, what we were just saying. Like, I'm not exactly sure what we would steal. I mean, I can kind of see, like, I can imagine it in my head. I mean, you know the scene from the John Wick movie where he's kind of strolling through the nightclub, looking for that guy he's chasing after.
Yep.
And there's just these blaring lights and just the
strobes everywhere.
Yeah, the strobing like red and blue lights, I guess, and he's just walking through. And I can kind of see the heisters doing that sort of crap. But I mean, eventually you're gonna have to put on your mask. So is this gonna be a loud only heist? I can't imagine like stealthing a concert.
Do you think the AI for this heist will just like go in and just start breaking it down on the dance floor like, Wolf, I'm serious, off the dance floor?
Like the problem will be all the civilians. That's the major issue. Yeah. If it's not loud only, it'll be car shop Death Wish all over again.
Yeah. I really like the description to the car shop heist. It's just, we're gonna go in the afternoon where there's not gonna be a lot of people, and then there's like
that's what they think.
But there's
50
going to
people.
Be 82 guards.
Yeah.
But there are way more people than there should ever be in there, not just at the afternoon.
I don't think I've ever seen so many civilians at a concert. I mean, maybe they're gonna half-ass it and they're gonna be like, yeah, the concert's just setting up, and there's not really anybody in yet, so we're getting in early.
I don't know.
Right? Because
I feel like
the
they
engine
would do
itself,
like that.
like we can literally walk through all the civilians. I mean,
Exactly.
think about how it's going to be with a million okay, not a million, but like hundreds of civilians in one particular map. It's not going to happen.
No, well, the objective, like they could basically, like, we'll just get another like random objective. We're just getting another generic bank vault to rob. That's probably what's going to happen. There's nothing that's gonna like make it unique at all.
But
Well,
guys,
they're
the
banking a
Alesso
lot
Dallas
on Alesso.
mask.
What, does Alesso's face have a resemblance with the clown?
No, they're just. Well, I mean, he is a clown, but no. The Dallas mask is getting redone. There's apparently a special release with like where the white stars are. It's getting replaced with Alesso's symbol.
I see. So just a very cheap reskin.
Yeah.
That any of us
How
could
many
do.
of those can we have before they start putting out unique masks?
Let's say we've got regular Dallas, we've got Dallas Begins, we've got Mega Dallas, we've got the Champ.
The beat up Dallas.
Yeah.
That one's kind of a weird mask actually, because I just got the achievement and got the mask.
I have
like,
never worn the mask.
His face is kind of bruised, but it's like a mask, so how's his mask bruised? But there's also, on the opposite side of the mask, there's a crack in the mask, and it's kind of stitched up with band-aids. Or
It's when he goofed.
Yeah, it's
when he goofed with his gun, and it just kind of like hit him in the face.
Yeah, he meleeed too hard in the opposite direction. But is this? Do you guys know if this heist is supposed to be a paid heist? Like, is it going to be a typical $7.99 fare?
It's $8.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Or $7, I suppose.
It's going to be a tough bargain with GTA 5 right around the corner.
Well, not anymore. Now that you said that.
Oh,
Another
did
month.
I just sway you away? Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like Half-Life 3. Oh man. Shit.
There it
Now I
goes.
fucked up. Now I fucked up.
Yeah, we can't put it up like this. Can't put a podcast
great.
up like this.
But yeah, it's $7. I don't know. Like, I will buy it for completion to be able to host it for achievements, but whether it's worth it for someone who would like to hold on to their money, we'll have to see.
I'm speaking very just theorizing here. What if this heist does the unexpected and blows us out of the water? Turns out to be something actually good.
Then we'll eat our words like we did with Bonnie.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I think it's Overkill, the main Overkill team that's working on this heist. Whereas
Oh, it's not Lion Game Lion? Rip.
the stuff that we've been most enthused with came from Line Game Lion, am I right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Glorious
not to downplay Overkill, because I mean, after all, they did, make the damn game. But
So it looks like we're back to Hoxton Breakout.
Yep. For the meantime,
Car shop, Rip.
Yeah,
Stuff,
Hoxton Revenge.
they certainly seem to be
Hoxton Revenge wasn't too bad, to be fair.
introducing some neat mechanics. I mean, on Hoxton Revenge, they introduced the ECM
Yeah.
blocking the time lock thing, right? So you can't just cheese the stealth so much. But really, it's all for naught if they don't bring it to the old heists, because you can just cheese them as hard as you ever
And
could.
also the civilian eye scanner thing. That was pretty interesting,
Wait,
actually.
what is that?
In Hoxton,
Oh,
Hoxton
yeah.
Oh, the
Revenge.
retinal scanner.
Yeah.
That just broke. That just essentially broke the cable ties for hostages. Did they fix that? I don't remember.
Probably not.
I have no confidence in them. Yep.
All right. I think that's everything we can say about Alesso's heist.
Yeah. So
just-
we're
No matter
not.
what Alesso's
We're
heist
not
might
really
be.
excited about it because we have no
Not
idea
very.
who Alesso is, and
Yeah.
I guess he
We have
doesn't
no
the
idea what it will be.
greatest, fan
Alright.
base enthusiasm.
All right. And that being said, onto the new BLT hook. So recently,
BLTs.
the Better Lua Operate or hook was developed. I gotta put emphasis on that T, because that's the T part of the BLT. Making some changes to the modding scene. Now, I have no experience with creating mods, just installing them. So I'm gonna leave this up to the mod, the mod senseis here. Please explain to us this.
I think I'll leave it to Remi. Actually, I think he might be able to explain it better than I.
Maybe.
What does it- Okay.
What does it do? What does this do better, Remi?
It's not necessarily better. It's more
Whoa.
convenient for the end user.
It's
really.
better. It's in the name, so it's better.
Oh, of course, yeah.
That's why I
Has to
name
be.
all my mods. I start them with the prefix better, and then I get higher ratings.
Of course, you
Ah.
get more upvotes.
More
But
5 stars
basically-
on last bullet.
Yeah, 5 out of 5 every damn time.
Thanks, guys. Your ratings really did help.
So basically, the new hook it's not necessarily better than the old method. It just makes it a lot more convenient for the end user. Basically, what it is it's a new kind of a new injection method, which I'm not quite familiar with myself. But the gist of it is the hook allows for central mod management. So in game, it will keep all of your. It'll show you a central menu with all of the mods you have installed, a central mods folder. If set up for it, it will handle automatically updating your mods in-game, which is quite nice compared to the old hook, which required you to quit the game. Well, I mean, it still requires you to quit the game and reload, but you had to download it and install it again yourself, which is kind of nice. All your mod options are in one place, which is nice. All of your keybinds. Instead of having to actually go and change keybinds in files or having like in the script in the YML basically, you do it in game and it'll update on the spot without a reload, which is really nice.
I love that feature.
Yeah, so it's basically it has a nice little notification feature. It's just an all around. It's a better way of having all of the mods not necessarily play nicely together. But it's a central place where all of your mods will just kind of live and
It's kind of like a daycare for your mods, basically.
yeah, a little bit.
Well, I feel like this is a really, really nice way to make it easier for a lot of people to install mods. And you put it correctly. In the first place is just that it's better for the end user, and really for mods, if you want this scene to ever get big for your particular game, you want to make it as easy as possible. I mean, that's why games like
but they didn't.
Skyrim
They
and
relied on the
Fallout
community to make it better.
Well, I mean, that's the best way, isn't it? The community is the ones who are making like 90% of the mods anyways. I don't see Overkill doing that stuff.
Speaking of the mods, they celebrated the release of the BLT with a couple of new stuff. So they celebrated it with Poser, which is a mod that allows you to create custom menu poses.
I love
and
poses.
will,
Well,
and
it
it
doesn't
will-
allow you to create custom poses.
Okay, well, whatever. To an extent.
You know
and
what?
It
I
also
hate
allows
Poser.
you to flood. It also allows you to
Excuse
flood.
me, Ed?
It also allows you to flood the
I'll
subreddit with
expand
20
on it.
different albums.
And that is
of
the
what you call
exact reason why I
wallpapers.
dislike it. Not because it's a good thing, but because the subreddit is infested with the
Guys,
proliferation
check out my
of
poser OC.
poses.
Yeah.
And well, we let
Thank
them
you.
calm down and let
It
them,
also debuted with a new version of Goon mod that's compatible with this, and the Alpha HUD mod, Alpha Restoration,
Mhm.
and Project Canary, which I gotta say, I'm loving. I love it.
yeah, I
On
don't
the
like
topic
Project
of
Canary.
Project Canary, actually.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. What was that, Remy?
Wow.
Okay,
we're the
I
same
like.
thing you
Okay,
did a second
bad
ago.
choice of
Okay.
words.
Okay.
I like Project Canary. I do not like the fact that it runs everything it does frame by frame, and it puts so much stress on your system.
Okay.
If your system can't handle it.
You have a better
That's all I'm
computer than
saying.
me.
I love the mod. You know, Kale, if you're watching this, yo, great job. I love the mod.
Yep.
But man, the load is so big.
What difference are you seeing exactly? Because, like I said, you have a better rig than I do.
Yeah, no, I saw mostly just FPS like stuttering, not necessarily a full drop in consistent drop in FPS, but like a stuttering, and it went away after I disabled Project Canary. So I don't know, maybe that was just an issue for the time, and I can reinstall it, but we'll have to see.
Well, I've
But
to be honest, I've never really encountered any performance issues. The main issue that I was having with the mod is that the options in the Lua options menu don't work. There's this particular feature where it's added in, Project Canary has added in, when you zip tie the first hostage, your character will say something appropriate, but there's also a secondary option that continues the lines that they say as they zip tie up subsequent hostages. And even if you uncheck that option, it doesn't stop them from saying it, as it should. And I don't think that's ever been really addressed. I mean, I thought someone might have posted it once or twice on the Project Canary Steam community thing, but I don't think it was ever addressed, like I said.
Oh, well,
That's the only
someone
thing I
can-
don't like about it.
Someone can bring that to Kale. And,
Speaking of issues,
you
a
will
lot
do
of people, and this is a side thing, are up in arms about Ali Pro creating.
oh man, are you
Yeah.
actually bringing that shit into here?
I'm gonna have to do it
This is
because if I
This
don't,
is the controversy
people are gonna-
podcast. I love
People
it.
are gonna yell. There's a bit
damn
of
it.
drama concerning Ali Pro and Hawkshead and this new
There's
hook.
always a bit of drama concerning Ollie Pro and Hogshead.
yeah.
The community is sometimes warranted, mostly not warranted punching bag.
We've
You know
been-
what? I'm not going to take sides on
Yeah.
this. So
We've
you
been
guys
called
can
salty.
So what it
and
is,
we're
what
gonna
it
prove it.
is, for those who do not know, is Ali Pro made a spin-off of this to work with Hawkshead because he wanted it to remain closed source and wouldn't allow, supposedly, according to him, and I'm not trying to take sides here, he attempted to, make it work, but in the end it just wouldn't, so he just modified the hook
Yeah,
to
you
make
just
it
added
work.
it on so you could run
Yeah.
Hawkshead, which he's the creator of,
Yeah,
in addition to
yes.
BLT.
And so then one of the big wigs came in and said, "Okay, I'm done with all this drama. Let me explain what's happening here." And that just served to create more drama.
Well, I mean,
So,
the
like,
clickbaity title didn't help. I'm done with
it-
Hawkshead. I'm not going to have
Well,
it
okay,
anymore.
Exactly.
to be fair, you guys didn't
And
really
it's-
get the entire story.
And it was one of the bigger guy or someone like that. I forget his.
Well, I don't remember who it was, but he
But
basically
anyways,
said,
anyways.
Ollie Pro, he's being a dick, and I'm not having it.
Well,
No,
Lewis,
no,
I like
I'm
how
thinking
you
of-
say
I'm-
you're
no,
not taking sides.
I'm thinking of another guy. It was someone
I'm
else.
just imitating someone. It's not my
Illegal Odin? Is that who you're thinking of?
I maybe I don't know, but
opinion. It's
yes,
not Odin.
maybe I don't know. It was someone big, and it was on the front page of the subreddit.
Yeah.
But he tried to explain everything, and then people were like, it was just a mess.
Oh, was that the one that said he tried to explain everyone's thoughts on everyone?
Yeah, I
That was
guess.
Kale. That was the Project Canary
Oh
creator.
yeah,
You know what?
that's who it was,
He
so.
didn't take sides. He was, you
Yeah.
know, it wasn't that bad. And I think you said you weren't taking sides, but your opinion did kind of paint Ollie Pro as the bad guy.
I didn't.
Which is-
Okay, I didn't.
I think
intend
we're
to do
referring
that.
to another user because it wasn't Kale who we're referring to, I believe.
Yeah.
No, Kale attempted to defuse the situation
Yeah, that
Yeah.
by
came
writing,
after the thread
laying
that
it all
said
out.
that we
Yeah,
had
we're
enough
thinking
with
of-
Hoxud. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Yes.
If I accidentally if I unintentionally did that, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm doing my best to phrase this
Basically-
properly so that I don't end up taking sides or anything. So, anyways,
Basically, the way the situation went down was BLT was created. A lot of people were like clamoring for Ollie Pro to make Hoxud compatible, but it's his mod. It's his own choice to not make it compatible, and that's absolutely fine.
exactly.
But he made a pull request to the BLT hook, which made the BLT mods work with previous mods, script-related mods for the original hook, which, aka Hoxud, would be one of those. And it's a good fix. But then the creators, for whatever reason, not judging, rejected the fix. So Ollie Pro made a fork of the hook, the Club Sandwich edition of the BLT hook, which runs both BLT compatible mods and old hook compatible scripts, including Hoxud, which would make sure he didn't have to rewrite Hoxud entirely for the new hook.
Or divulge.
Which that's his own prerogative.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah,
fine by him.
Lewis brought up a good point. Well, partially is that so he wouldn't have to rewrite it.
Well, yes, but if they had it's on both of them. If the creators, for whatever reason, they rejected his fix, if they had accepted his fix, Hoxud would have worked perfectly with the BLT hook. But for whatever reason, they rejected it, and because so many people wanted to use the BLT hook at the same time as Hoxud, he went off and created a fork, which is perfectly fine. It works.
I just find it funny that there's even such, ire with the modding community concerning this particular thing.
Well,
You
Well,
would think
okay,
we'd
let's
be
be
more
fair.
cooperative.
Each modding community has their drama. Minecraft especially.
I haven't seen. I know this is off topic, but I don't know. Does Minecraft have that much drama? I don't know. I never,
yeah.
I never knew about that.
I thought it was mostly just notch bashing.
Nope. No, it hasn't been notch bashing for years. I've been
Or
modding
jet
Minecraft
bashing.
for ages. Actually, that's what I was going to liken it to. The BLT system is actually likened to. Have you guys ever heard of Forge? I don't know
Yeah,
if you play
yeah.
Minecraft. Yeah, Forge. I liken it to Forge, except with better updating. And I've played around and modded Minecraft for years, and I've seen my fair share of drama. It's prevalent in nearly every modding scene of every game. And
yeah.
apparently Payday is with Payday, it's just Hoxud is just the kind of the thing it's revolving around, because Ollie Pro's actions and his choices are the ones that are most easily bashable for whatever reason. But
Well, it's closed if we put it simply, right?
it's I don't think that it's closed source is the issue. Like, what exactly is the problem with it being closed source? Like, I'll say that straight up front. Other than you can't view the source, but people who use Hoxud, I will say, and I'm quite confident that around 80% people who use Hoxud don't care about the code.
I suppose
They
so,
just
but
like
I
the
mean,
HUD.
I understand
There's no reason.
the reason for BLT to come up is because it is open and it allows these new features like in-game updating and just the fact that there's a mod manager menu and stuff like that's not just going to happen with one or two people who are heading the scene. Like with Hawks, well, I'm not the authority here, but if it is closed, there's a very small chance that we'll ever get new features like that because it's just controlled by a minority.
But then we can flip it over on the BLT hook if you want to go that route and say, sure, it's open source so everyone can contribute, but they denied Ollie Pro's fix to make it compatible with Hoxud.
I don't
To
know
be
if that's
fair-
really compatible though, because that one's just like an addition onto. It's not trying to integrate it, so to speak.
It's an addition onto. It's integrating the old hook compatibility with the new hook compatibility. You get the best of both worlds, and his fix worked.
But that's not
So-
necessarily like. It's kind of. I'm trying to
Like what could
sort it out in my head,
for
but
whatever
it's not
reason-
really a fix. I mean, it's an addition. It's not
So
solving
what you're saying
the
is
issue
the
here. It's just
fix
making it
would
work, but
be-
it's not letting.
So what you're saying
you
is
into the
the
features.
fix would be integrate Hoxud with BLT. So you're saying he should assimilate and rewrite Hoxud for BLT. That's what you're saying. which is because it
No,
doesn't
I'm not
integrate.
necessarily, because that's sort of cowing to, yeah, BLT is better, so I'm gonna have to make Hogshead work with it. That's not exactly what I'm saying, but just the
But you're
method
saying
that they've
that
been.
making it work with it with a fix, with a quick fix, is not good
I'm not
either.
even. No, I'm not exactly saying it's not a. It's a bad thing. I'm saying that it's not a true fix. It's making them work together, but they still split off into their own different things.
But you
And
can't
when you get
truly
down
make
to
them.
the bottom of it, it's still problematic because Hogshead itself, even though it works with BLT, is still closed. Like you
Yeah,
can't
but the
branch off from that.
no, but the problem is you can't integrate it with like full integration. What you want would require Hoxa to be rewritten. That's the problem. Because why are they going to rewrite the entire BLT hook for Hogshead, which is just going back to the old hook?
Well,
It's
the whole
pointless.
reason
So
for
what you're
BLT
saying
to
is a
come
full
around is
integration
to kind of
to be
improve
better.
upon it.
Exactly. So you're saying full integration and not a quick fix is rewriting Hogshead for the
Essentially,
BLT
yeah.
hook, which he didn't want to do, and that's fine. That's his own choice. So what he did, in order to help the people who wanted both Hogshead and BLT, is add a fix, which they rejected for whatever reason.
See,
So,
I'm not fully up to date on how they rejected it or when they rejected it, but I'm
well,
just
he created a pull
touching
request
on.
and they just closed the pull request. It's simple, but
Hmm.
point being, you're kind of saying in order to like the only way to integrate them both is the quick fix to make them compatible or complete rewrite, which I think it's kind of unfair to force him to rewrite the mod.
It is. It certainly is an inconvenience, but I mean, the
Which
whole
is
point of
the
BLT to come around is to add in all those really neat, convenient features for the end user, and with Hogshead, it's just not possible to do those sort of things. And to integrate it in and make Hogshead work with it is great for the people who do use Hogshead, but it doesn't allow us to move forward because it's still as closed as it was before.
Yeah, but that's a Hogshead specific.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Like, it
people have
doesn't-
already been pulling features out of Hogshead and integrating them into separate BLT compatible scripts, so I'm
Yeah,
I'm
but
really
making
not.
it compatible and like making the fix that made it compatible with it's not just Hogshead either. It's older scripts, like just the old script system. How does that move backward? That still allows you to go forward. It just allows backwards compatibility,
Well, I know you
which
you
I feel
do
is very
have some
important.
Lua experience, but and initially I was really intimidated by BLT as well because I did have quite a few scripts that I like to use just for, just quality of life sort of things, and I'm like, "Oh, well, now that there's a new hook, my old scripts aren't going to work on these," but just using the
Small fix.
mod.txt thing that you need for all BLT mods, I was able to, quote unquote convert them over. But do you have any ones that wouldn't work from the Hogshead hook over to BLT?
No, it's
Like, so I don't
completely
really
possible
see
to
a big
convert
issue.
everything to BLT.
Yeah.
But
It's
the
not even
problem
really
is
converting,
those are
it's like
small
overcomplicating
scripts.
it.
Those
Yeah.
are small scripts,
Mhm.
correct?
Yeah, that's
Whereas porting an entire HUD over, like I would go so far as to say it has as much code as Poco HUD, which I don't know if you've ever seen the source for Poco HUD, but that's a lot to port over. And with the
Whoa.
new hook system, that's a lot of that's a
Well,
lot of
Poco
hooks.
HUD is on
Poco
BLT
HUD is on
now,
BLT.
right? So I
Yes.
mean, it's
But Poco HUD
possible.
required
Clearly.
a total rewrite for BLT.
Well, I want to say that simply judging from the fact that Poco HUD jumped over, the creator of Goodmod jumped over.
The creator
I
of
want to say
Goodmod
that is
created
part of
BLT.
Yeah, that's right. But I want to say that, regardless of that
No
bias
shit, he
there,
changed over.
regardless of that bias, I mean, I want to say that there's something there. I mean, there's a reason to jump over if this new BLT hook isn't clearly superior and offering the community the ability to do more with the game and using this hook.
Well,
then
that's the thing. It's not offering the community anymore, dude, to do with game. You can do whatever you can do on this hook. You could do before. That's the thing.
come on,
The
I'm
only
already
issue is it makes it
enthused with the
easier
mod
for the end.
manager. Yeah, and that's what it's
Okay,
all
well,
about.
why don't you explain? What exactly can you do with the hook that you couldn't do beforehand?
Well, I'm not
Now,
going
what
to
you're
jump
gonna
into
say
the
is
code, but for
whole
the end user, it's
updating-
great stuff. Yeah.
No, yeah, for the end user, exactly. The central mod managing and the central keybind, the auto updating, yeah, no, that's amazing for the end user. But bottom line, it doesn't change anything except the format for the actual developers. Like they can still do everything they did beforehand.
The Lua is the
Except
same,
now
yeah.
it's all presented nicely and conveniently for the end user, which I will agree. I will say I use the BLT hook. I love the BLT hook. It's very convenient, and I do think my personal opinion is it is superior to the old hook. But it's not necessarily better on the developer side. It is easy to make mods now because it does add a lot of utilities on the modder side, but global utilities. Now they're very obvious, whereas they were usable beforehand, before BLT came along. It's just now they're more prevalent and they're easy right there for you to use due to the hook.
Exactly. It kind of like I have a very rudimentary understanding of this, but just going off what you just said, it makes a lot of things, I don't want to say universal. Like it makes the updating system, for example, like it'll using that code could be implemented on almost into any mod, and any mod could have self-updating in a sense.
Yeah, but that's because the
It makes
update
it
code
easy,
is completely
centralized.
separate from the mod
Yeah.
code.
Exactly.
Updating has nothing to do with mods. It just requires a management system, which
I
is
want to
what
say that that's
is.
one of the important things.
Going forward, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. To go forward, because
No, correct.
That's
No,
just
I would
a great thing for
absolutely
the end
agree.
user. It's a great thing for the mod maker. They don't have to go through a lot of hoops to get the new version of their mod out.
Well, they actually, arguably, they'd have to go through more. Like beforehand, if you had a website or a Dropbox, whatever, you just zip it and then upload it. Now you have to change a few different files. You have to log into their website. You have to upload it there. You have to get it approved. You have to get them to give you an account first to be able to get it updated. So
Well, I wasn't aware
actually,
of that.
it's
But
actually a little bit more of a hassle on the developer side, but on the end user side, no, it's amazing. So like, and that's not necessarily a step forward in new things you can do with the game. That's just a step forward in convenience and new ways of managing all these in a central place for the end user.
and
Which,
I think that's a very important thing, because I did come from the CS modding community. I was also a part of the Fallout games modding community, and both those games, well, at least the Fallout games, they had a big following on the Nexus Mods website, and they had their own global Fallout mod manager, and then they had the Nexus mod manager, and there were a lot of advantages that came with that new one. And I would say that for people who weren't as educated on the matter, just the fact that they came out with the Nexus mod manager, and the fact that it was so integrated into the modding website and made it so easy for the end user, really, I want to say it can only be a benefit, because
I never
when you're
said it
making these
wasn't.
mods, it is for the end user, and you want to make it as easy as possible. And you have a point that it doesn't make it easier for the mod maker.
and it doesn't let you
Exactly.
do, my point is, it doesn't necessarily make it easier for the mod developer, and it's not necessarily a step in a new direction for modding. Like it doesn't change
Well,
what
yeah,
you
I
can
may
do
have
with Lua.
misspoke there. It doesn't. Yeah, it exactly. It doesn't.
It doesn't change
let
what
you
you can
do
do Lua.
more, but it makes. I want to say it makes the interface just better for.
Oh no, yeah, it definitely
the
makes
modding
the end
community.
user much better.
Simply put.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will agree. I feel like that entire conversation was now just us misunderstanding and
Each
just
other constantly.
saltiness.
It was
Yeah.
fascinating for me. Okay. That all being said, Says
I
the guy who
apologize for that.
has dead air for
Yeah.
the last 20 minutes. Okay.
I was like,
all right.
did he disconnect? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
heard him chuckling. I heard him chuckle a few times.
All right. All right. And now we move on to the closing bit. Anything else that happened that really didn't fit into any of our other, big topics? So let's start it off. We got the Cash Ketchum April Fool's gag that I thought that was great. That was amazing.
You
I
have a
thought it
very
was fucking
deep
glorious.
personal stake in this April Fool's gag.
Yeah, because oh yes, I do. Anyone who's on the subreddits, my personal stake. But yes, I think that was a definite, that was a big scale up from what they did last year. Last year they just said, oh, here's some, bigger ridiculous character, enemy types. But no, here they went full on heister. They designed the weapons, they remixed the soundtrack, which I thought was amazing. And Simon has confirmed that's being fleshed out to a full track. That'll probably be on the B-Sides album. but I loved it. I thought that was great.
I found it really funny.
Also, Coyote Mation, the guy who, one of Overkill's, more
Animators,
prominent
yeah.
animators, made a behind-the-scenes video showing how the Pokeball, grenade type, quote-unquote, worked there. I thought that was also
Cash
very
box.
cool, too. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
It's kind of cool. I
Yeah.
liked it.
Yeah, it was great.
I didn't even
funny.
think you
It was
guys
very
would get
well
that
done.
joke because I grew up with Pokemon, and I'm like, would
Yeah, no,
this
same
joke
here.
catch on with anybody?
Yeah, no.
Except for me.
I got it.
Okay, well,
All right.
you know,
Obviously, I got it.
I also grew up with
Okay.
Pokemon.
All right. Well,
there's
we
an
got-
age difference between us. It's just I was like, who's gonna get this joke except for me? I wonder. But apparently, it was well received. I can appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Except for everyone on the Steam forums who said,
Oh,
"Are
God,
you
see-
kidding me? More DLC now."
See, we don't talk
OMG.
about the Steam forum.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why. All right, so what else we got? New voice lines continue to be recorded.
How come we didn't talk about your song?
We
Well,
don't talk about his song.
Voice lines continue to be recorded by
Yeah.
Simon with Houston's voice actor Simon.
Yes,
Or what's his
please,
name? Derek Ray.
Derek Ray. So
Derek
Simon
Ray.
took suggestions on Twitter for names that Houston should call Hoxton, and those were about as great as one could imagine. But this poses the question: was Derek Ray in the booth that day, or has he already been in this booth, or is he in the booth as we speak? Who knows?
I would think that Simon would be a little more prepared. He's like, hey, Derek, why don't you come on in? We're going to record some lines. And then he just makes him sit there in the sound padded booth in complete silence for about an hour while he reads reads all the responses.
Also, we know Dragon's been in and done in
Yeah.
the studio from the Dragonborn Vine. God, I need that line
Yeah.
sooner than later, Simon, please.
I do like
Okay.
the little references that Overkill can do, and I guess the silliness or the silly nature of the game that Payday's been heading towards
Yeah.
kind of caters to that. I can appreciate that.
I don't know. I like the silly
I know you guys
nature.
don't think it. I like to have fun. Yeah, I like to have fun.
Really?
Oh, wait, what?
I know it's really unbelievable. I can barely believe it's coming out of my mouth. But
with
yeah, I
with
like
all the
Dragon
little
Ball.
funny vines, it kind of shows. Overkill is not some like machine. Like they have fun.
Yeah.
It's like a silly
that.
little game studio. It's
Speaking of people from Overkill or their
Associates.
yes, associating with the community. Damien Poitier, the much loved voice actor of Chains, has joined
and
Reddit.
actor of Chains.
Yeah, has joined Reddit, and
I would like to personally welcome you if you're listening, Damien, as a fellow dank memer.
yes, welcome.
Thank you for joining the ranks.
Thank you for telling all non-Chains lovers to quote unquote get bent.
Now, what I would like to say is that he did not feel. I read the thread that we have linked here of the announcement that he now has a Reddit account. It was pretty interesting because most of the comments were like, prepare your anus. Oh no, here we go. Prepare yourself. And he kind of replied to them like, oh shit, what am I getting into? Like, oh no, what have I done?
I would hope. I didn't do much research when I joined Reddit, but I would hope he did.
I hope that he knows what he's done.
He's yeah, no.
Rip inbox.
Yeah. He is a pretty cool guy, though, honestly. I think I would go so far as to say he's one of the, actually the most, loved by just everyone, honestly, because he's a great guy. Just
I don't
in
know.
general.
Pete Gold comes as a close second.
Oh, yeah, Pete, yeah, definitely. But that's because yeah, okay.
Well, he's one of the classic or original Payday crew voice actors, right?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Damien, who came in just in the second
Out of
iteration
nowhere.
of Payday. Yeah, out of nowhere. But in Chains, to be completely honest with you, I wasn't really into the Payday the Heist scene at the time when it was still new. But even playing it after its initial popularity spike when it was released, I want to say that I'm certain that Chains wasn't one of the favorites, not just because of his race, but at least for me, it was because of his voice. It sounded very unconvincing. It sounded like just a regular guy kind of trying to be tough, like he was overacting in one sense. But Chains is very snarky lines. The way that Damien portrayed him, it gave Chain's new personality, and he
Exactly.
sounds very convincing as Chain's.
Damien gets the attitude right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he didn't have attitude in the first one. He just sounded very, as I said, generic. And
I
that's
don't-
probably why he wasn't very special.
I don't know who was in charge of scouting, Damien. I don't know who made the choice to do it, but they should get like a gold plaque or something like that. Like, thank you so much for supplying us with an endless supply of pickle jokes. Thank you so
Oh
much.
man. Well, now that we've exhausted the Damien Reddit account Circle Jerk,
Let's
I
move
do
on
have
to
one
the
small
HE rounds
thing.
one.
I now have a nice headline that low blow is a no go.
Low
For
blow
HEs
is a
on clients.
no-go.
Yeah, this is a point of contention that's been brought up a lot recently, which is that because of the fix, I say fix, I use it in the loosest sense of the term.
Yeah.
In order to stop HEs, because there used to be a bug where HE rounds would be silent if you were a client.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
opened up some interesting stealth opportunities. And now Overkill was like, oh man, dude, maybe we should fix that. So they made it calculate server side, which does get rid of the whole client issue. But now clients shouldn't really be using HE rounds at all. Because now it
Exactly,
takes
there's that.
time for them to actually register. If they register at all, it can happen. They might not go through. And HE rounds, I'm not sure if this has been fixed, but I haven't heard it if it has. But they can't crit. HE
Yeah.
rounds cannot crit on clients anymore, which basically like fucks up anyone who's trying to use concealable HE with low blow. So like HE rounds are not very viable for clients in its current state.
Yep.
I've never found that any grenade launching projectile weapon has been useful as a client. I mean, even when the original grenade launcher was out, every time I would be a client joining someone else's server, my grenades would have an incredible delay before they would explode. So I'm guessing it's even worse now.
Well, that might have been just on your side. Like, I don't know. I have no issue with.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean-
I have no issue with joining with explosive weapons as a client, but
Maybe I was
The
joining a very
problem is-
faraway server. Who knows?
maybe it was Australian.
Lucky?
Just to
No,
Well,
he's still getting the old Shanghai chandelier. I forgot about
Yeah.
that. Sorry. Okay.
The issue is like I don't know. I understand they had to I understand they had to kind of fix that exploit if
Yeah.
it could be called an exploit. Like the problem is it's not really that big of an exploit. Like really, what would it help with?
Yeah.
Silent HE rounds, maybe multiple guards, but also I suppose the murky water exploit where they have a 100% chance to get knocked down by explosions.
Yeah,
but
it's a very useful stealth stealth
but only
tool,
on
apparently.
murky waters, which makes it useful on 2 maps.
Yeah.
It'd be
And
really
now-
useful if they added like rubber rounds that you could put into your grenade launcher and actually like knock people out like that. That'd be neat.
Non-lethal in Payday? No.
Yeah, it'd probably
But
be
now
easier just
with
to shoot them
HE
in the back of
rounds-
the face.
Server-sided are just now they're just broken.
Yep.
Like while they were situationally abusable before, now they're just broken and clients are kind of fucked trying to use them. And I feel like that was just an over nerf. Like really.
Yeah.
Maybe Overkill wants to put a greater focus on CrimeNet offline with that change.
Oh, of course.
Uh-huh.
Which is funny because all of their stuff beforehand has been co-op down your throat. And I mean, if they're gonna nerf,
the slogan of the game is rob banks with friends.
Yes.
yeah. Thing is, if they're gonna nerf HE rounds like below the ground with this, they better damn well fix Dragon's Breath. Like, how else are you gonna kill shields now unless sniper rifles?
Exactly.
And I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to carry a 3-foot-long dildo with me all the time. Especially
when
I do that
you might
enough in
need it
real life. I
sometimes,
don't.
man.
Yeah,
Come
dude,
on.
I do that enough in real life. I don't need to do it in a video game.
Ooh. Well,
Okay.
today we learned.
All right then.
I think with that out of the way, that covers everything.
Including
gonna
the
end it on
uncomfortable
dildos.
details about Luis's personal life. Okay. Oh, there's a soundbite. Okay.
Yep.
Mind repeating that so that I'm not interfering with you?
We will end it on dildos.
There we go. Okay. Great.
Sounds good.
All right. That being said, thank you for watching this episode. Not watching, you're listening. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Payday Crimecast. We hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them in the comment section of this video, or go over to our subreddit, our Payday Crimecast, and comment them in the discussion. Comment them in the discussion thread there. Yeah. That being said, I am Lewis, aka Make Me Smash, for the Payday Crimecast. Signing off. I hope you have a great day.
Yes, and I'm Edward.
And I'm Remi. Hi.
Are you sure? I just want to know, Lewis. Can you just end it with an excerpt from your Cash Ketchum?
I don't see
parody
why
song?
not. Please do.
Oh, I'm down.
No, not me. You.
Oh, okay.
You mean it's live?
What were the lyrics to that song again?
Just yell Payday 2.
Payday 2!
Oh God.
And we'll end it on that beautiful note.
Yeah.
Or lack thereof.
Yeah, thank you.